about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
This is it. This is it. This is what you guys signed up for. This is Red October. This is playoff baseball in Philadelphia. When you get fucking punched in your mouth, you're down yesterday. And what do? You do two things, Philadelphia. You bring in the secret weapons. I'm talking about Ballpark fucking Tommy, who's basically undefeated at his own stadium, like Sanchez. So very fitting that they were both there today. And who else do you bring in? As soon as I saw the fucking look in his eyes, Nick Castellanos, I said, game, set, match. I am a Castellanos guy. I'm confident in him, but man, did he deliver, guys. It's so refreshing, so exciting to say we just beat up on the New York Mets for the first time ever in the playoffs. It's really hard to believe that, but what's going on, everybody? My name is Dalton, joined by Eric, Brendan, Gavin. Friday's going to be joining us here in a second, Phillies post-game crew. Holy shit, the blood pressure's rising, isn't it?
I think I shit a brick almost like 3 times this fucking game.
I never had any doubt this entire time. I'm not going to let anybody read a text or a phone call or anything or like let me yell for the last 4 hours, but I was calm, cool, and collected this entire time. Just saying.
I'm with Ryan's comment.
I fucking wasn't.
What a game.
I couldn't be farther from the truth when I say that, by the way.
I was
my wife looks at me at a different stance after the way I was yelling tonight.
Hey. Hold on. Let me tell a story real quick. If you guys read the group chat, I had to banish my wife to the kitchen or to the bedroom because literally, right? We're sitting there at dinner and we're eating dinner, right? And so literally she's sitting there and she walks into the kitchen. And you know what happens? Bryce Harper hits a home run. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is this woman like just bad luck? So then she walks out and I look at her. I said, get back in the kitchen real quick. She walks back in the kitchen. You know what happens? Nick Castellanos, back to back. Then she comes out of the kitchen, right? You know what happens? What's his name? Whoever went yard before Pete Alonso.
Nimmo or Vientos?
Nimmo. She comes out of the kitchen. Nimmo goes yard. I said, yeah, there's something with you in the kitchen, man. You got to stay in the kitchen. You got to stay out of the living room. One of the two, dude.
Oh, man.
Shardy, it's a Philly thing, bro. I'm with you. That superstition of the small things. Because I took off this watch because I was so superstitious that when I had my watch on in the videos, for some reason, the Phillies were fucking the shit out of it. But when I took my watch off because I was uncomfortable, they stopped fucking the shit out of it. So I took my watch off until the very end of the game. And then when I was confident, then I put it back on. Yeah.
I didn't let my dog move for about 2 hours. So she was in the state. I was petting her when Harper went off. I was petting her when Cassie went off. And I was like, you are not moving. You're not going to the bathroom. We're eating dinner afterwards. She stayed there for the entire time.
I was pacing during the whole game.
You know what? Whatever.
I was pacing the entire time. My emotions were probably more bipolar than this weather. So it was crazy.
More bipolar than this fucking series, bro. Holy shit.
Tell me this isn't playoff baseball, though. Like, if you are looking for it, if you want to have baseball as an interesting sport, this is the game. I know we talk shit about these announcers, and I hate them as much as anybody else, but I think AJ Brzezinski and Adam Wainwright said it. This is baseball, and this is playoff baseball. And if it's not stressful, you have no reason to even be in the playoffs. This is it. This is what we look for. It's not Red October at this point. I think I'm past that. It's Bloody October, and you have to go to Citi Field on Tuesday and beat the absolute shit out of everyone that goes to that stadium.
Right. I mean,
Agreed.
I definitely agree. I think
Agreed.
they gotta take one in City Field and then come back to CBP. I said from the beginning, Phillies in 5, and I think I think they're gonna steal one. Me and Gavin were talking about this before we started the show. I think they're gonna steal one in New York. Knock on wood. As long as the offense shows up, and then I think they're gonna come home and get it done.
I will say it was pretty funny seeing Edwin Diaz in the game.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit on the Mets, but I think they were getting very ahead of themselves. I'm just gonna read a tweet from Anthony DeComa, who's a beat writer for the Mets from MLB.com. This was probably around like the 6th or 7th inning. It went from fans at Citizens Bank Park have taken to booing their own players pretty much every at bat, as Luis Severino has set down 10 of the last 12 Phillies he's faced. Most of them didn't even bother singing along to Bryson Stott's popular walk-up song. The Mets are breaking Philly. The Mets are breaking Philly. That's what we got out of tonight from a nationally renowned beat writer. And they just beat the shit out of you. Fuck the Mets, and they just beat the absolute shit out of you. And you don't realize what can you just opened of letting this team hit a walk-off going into the next game.
Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets!
That was from Tommy. He sent that over for us to use tonight.
That's awesome.
That was what I was doing, dude. God damn, you're good, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, I wanted to show that. I was BPT, dude. Holy shit with the BPT cam. But how refreshing is it? Like, I know that could have went such a different way for us too tonight, like our energy on this show, and it would have been such a different vibe. But thank God they got it done. You guys know what really sold me on Castellanos' eyes? There was a photo that went around, and it was this week. And shout out to Sean Holden from the C6 Tailgate and also Gork Boys Barbecue. They were cooking for Casty and hanging out with him and a couple other Phillies. This dude's just hanging out, dogs out, got the toes just hanging out. I'm like, man, this guy's got a lot of confidence. He's just hanging out. And when he came up to the plate tonight, I thought to myself, I said, any guy with that kind of confidence is going to crank one. I thought it was last night. Last night it didn't happen, but tonight, man, tonight he really delivered with the home run and then the walk-off. Castellanos, have your flowers and then some, brother, because boy, oh boy. I mean, there's been a lot of talk too about is he been that guy since he's gotten here? Moments like these, I think, solidify that it's been a great signing overall.
Well, did you see, and if for those of you that were watching the game, there was one at bat, I forget what inning it was, where Nick Castellanos, that was like the worst at bat I think I've probably ever seen. He was taking like low pitches to the low outside of the zone away from him. And he swung at the first one and then took the second one. And when he took the second one for a ball, like everybody started cheering that he took the ball. And if you go on Twitter, and I'll look it up here and share it in a few minutes if I could find it. The camera zoomed in on him on the broadcast, and I guess the lip readers on Twitter said he was like, these fucking fans or these fucking people or something like that. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick, but I had to bring that up.
Yeah, love it. I love the attitude of every one of these guys tonight. Going from the 5th inning on, just want to make that abundantly clear that for the first 15 innings of this series, I hated watching baseball. Let's be very frank and honest, except for Zach Wheeler. But once we got to the inning tonight, man, you have Bryson Stott coming out of the woodworks. You have Bryce Harper coming in clutch in the moments that you know he's going to come in clutch. Cassie hitting 2 shots, and then guys just working themselves on base. And you have guys stealing third, stealing second. I think they had 4 or 5 stolen bases tonight, something that you haven't seen from this team in a good while. You have Topper being aggressive with the batting lineup. Not a big fan of the bringing Ruiz in there. What was that, the 6th or the 7th? I felt like that was a much higher leverage situation. Definitely could have been a better guy or a better option in there. Only gave up 1. Kirk Green gave up 1. Was it the end of the world? No. Here we are. Rob Thompson, you did your shit tonight, brother.
I found the tweet, so hold on. I want to share it real quick. Here we go. So, game-tying home run in the 6th, single and scored go-ahead run in the 8th. So he went from saying these effing people when they were booing him in the 4th inning. So let me zoom this in. But I thought it was funny. Just I don't think he's really like
He loves it, yeah.
I don't think he's saying it to be like an asshole. I just think that he's just like, these fans are gonna boo me, they're gonna cheer me, whatever.
It was different than Bohm's I hate this place.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad.
Hate's such a strong word that, yeah, it's way different from saying hate this place.
It's a respect thing, in my opinion. It's like he almost he's like, man, they're fucking getting on my own ass before I can. You know what I mean? Like I don't even have a chance to get on my own ass and get mad about myself before these people are. So yeah, I think it's a respect thing. I think it's a joke. Any Phillies fans who take that seriously, well, let's just say you guys were definitely invited to a lot of parties in high school. I wasn't, just saying.
But getting into some statistical things now, we'll start with the pitching and the pitching side of it. I don't think, honestly, Christopher Sanchez did too bad. I think he was pulled maybe an inning early. I think he could have maybe went just a little bit longer. But looking at his stat line, he went he pitched 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. He let up a home run for those 2 runs, so whatever. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run, ERA of a 3.6. But then, and I want to talk about this. This is what I wanted to talk about, and I couldn't remember until now. Our bullpen, dude, has been lights out. The second half of the year going into the playoffs. And I don't know what the fuck is happening, but our bullpen just sucks lately. Imploding, dude. Looking at the stat line, you use 5 bullpen arms today. You use Ruiz, Kerkering, Estevez, Strom, and Hoffman. And they all let up runs. Jose Ruiz, 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 9 ERA. 9.
Oh.
It's terrible. Kerkering, I gave my props to Kerkering the other night when we did our, we were just goofing off and doing our awards or whatever you want to call them. But 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He let up a home run, 5.4 ERA. Estevez is really the only limelight. He came in, was shut down. 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, 0 ERA. But then, dude, and I'm not joking. I'm going to share my screen real quick so you guys can see this because I'm not joking at all. Look at the ERA for Strom and Hoffman, if you can read that.
Well, Hoffman, I don't even think he's recorded it out yet. So
Strom,
that's insane.
36 ERA in the postseason.
Yeah, I will say today and yesterday for Strom has not been ideal at all.
No.
It's been really disappointing from his performances of today's game and yesterday's game.
That's just terrible, dude. Terrible.
If there was ever a time to not get cold, it's right now. And never would have thought Strom was the guy getting cold right now. I thought that him and Hoffman were lights out. You got him 1, 2, 3. Everything's going to be fine every time they go out there. And then playoffs hit. And it's like, what the hell is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Never imagined something like this, dude. I never thought Estevez is going to be that guy. And one thing I think Shard, maybe you about it earlier, was where the fuck is Alvarado? He hasn't even gotten warmed up, talked about, nothing in 2 games where he definitely could have been leveraged.
That's a little concerning.
Right.
That kind of shows.
Luckily, Estevez hit 99 today, which is something that he hasn't done in a good while. But not being able to use Alvarado, who's been your stud, quote unquote, for the last couple of years, is very concerning going into a hopefully NLCS to a World Series championship.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope the bullpen really locks it in here the next couple of games. I mean, you have to lock it in. And I hope the offense wakes up too, because, looking at the offensive stat lines, Schwarber, really disappointing tonight. Had a couple opportunities, didn't take advantage of it. Schwarber 0 for 5. Turner 2 for 4, accounted for 2 runs. Harper 1 for 3, accounted for 2 runs himself, had 2 RBI. Castellanos, which we'll get to him in a second because we have more to talk about for him. 3 for 5, accounted for 2 runs. He had 2 RBI. Stott 2 for 4, accounted for 1 run. He had 2 RBI. Realmuto 0 for 3. He had 1 RBI though. Marsh 0 for 4. Sosa 0 for 2. Bohm 0 for 2. Rojas 1 for 1. Cody Clemens 1 for 2, and then Hayes 0 for 1. Offense woke up a little bit tonight. They left some runners in scoring position though, which it still annoys me. They gotta work on that. They gotta work on the small ball. I think the one thing, and Brendan, I think you and I were talking about this earlier. I think honestly, to me, I think the daycare and anybody in the chat, you guys can chime in on this conversation and we'll put it up on screen. What's going on, Charles? Appreciate you tuning in. I think personally the daycare is going to be broken up this off season.
Has to.
I don't see a world where you keep them. I think somebody's going to be traded, whether it's my fingers pointing mostly at Marsh.
Yep.
I think Marsh is going to be gone this all season. I think they're going to trade Marsh for a better platoon bat or better, just a better outfield bat that you can rotate with Hayes, because they're not going to get rid of Hayes. They're not.
They should. He was a waste of a fucking trade deadline fucking acquisition. What the hell? But yeah, what you're talking about, Daycare, I think we were talking about it before, is Marsh is pretty much your option of what's going to happen, of who's definitely going to get broken up. And at the same time, I think Bohm is on the hot seat. I think he's hit next year.
He's in arbitration though, isn't he?
I can't remember if this year is his last year of arbitration or if it's next year. I'm really starting to think it's next year. But next year is his make or break year. You have Aiden Miller, your number 1 offensive prospect, coming up, and he will be ready to play in 2026. And the fact that Bohm is not producing, he's acting like a child. He's throwing temper tantrums when they're winning. He's throwing temper tantrums when they're losing. He's not producing. The defense has been, hit or miss and going back and forth, but it's done. It's so inconsistent. They're not allowing them to get to the positions that they need to be. The bottom half of the lineup is just not strong for a year after year after year championship contender. And breaking up Bohm, it has to happen. It has to happen with either Marsh, Bohm, or Stott. But I think Stott is probably the guy most likely to stay. But Bohm and Marsh are going. I think that's honestly the truth. I think Marsh gets put into a package for a relief pitcher, and I think Bohm is just going to get let go, that they're just not going to re-sign him.
I could see that for sure. I also think it ultimately depends. I hate talking about the future because I love staying in the present, but I think it also depends if they do have interest in Soto.
Don't do that. Don't do it, Gavin.
I know. I don't want to.
Don't do it, Gavin.
I don't. But
the last thing they need is another one.
I know. But that's the truth. If they get rid of Marsh or any outfielder, that will pretty much tell us what their move is in free agency.
I need 2 seconds for this one. I need to just throw this out here.
Go ahead.
Juan Soto will fuck this team for years. There is no reason why you have a guy like Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, all very heavy year in, year out contracts making $25+ million a year. And the fact that you want to bring in another guy who's going to have the highest contract for a position player only, excluding Ohtani, 7 to 8 years, possibly hitting the 550 to 600 million range. Fuck that. There's so much liability. There's so much what if in that to me, that's the new Babe Ruth curse, that it will fuck this team for decades. You're going to lose prospects. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Do not do that. Grab a guy like Anthony Santander, Teoscar Hernandez. You have much more needs than just one left-handed bat. You have a bullpen that needs help. You need a 4th, 5th starter. You have left-handed bats. Like, there's so much other shit. Getting Soto fucks this team, fucks his organization. And I think if that happens, that'll be Dave Dombrowski's worst transaction that he's ever had.
I agree, man. I agree with you, no doubt. I personally don't want to pay Soto a lot just because I know what type of player he is, and it would be another lefty. I don't think that would fit with our lineup. But I also have to think about if he shows any interest, they will go for him.
Unfortunately, yeah, 1,000%, because it'll
If
be
he shows
another.
any interest, they will.
Yep, it'll be a Harper. Come here.
Yep, it will absolutely be.
What do you guys think about Justin Crawford? So, like Charles just said, Justin Crawford might be in the upcoming by 2027. I think he's a fucking stud, dude.
1,000%.
I think he's going to be coming up sooner than 2027 if he's ready.
Him, Miller, and Castro or Caba, rather, are the guys that are like, it's the next generation. People are talking about Aiden Miller is the next Mike Schmidt. Like, that's not something that's been talked about probably ever since Schmidt. And you have that being talked about, and Andrew Painter, McAble, like, these are guys that are very close to being brought up. Don't fuck yourself for the next 15 years for trying to get something for the next 7.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Especially.
Go ahead, Gavin.
Especially someone in the Phillies organization did say Miller is the next Schmidt. Like, that was from someone in the organization. That's something huge to say for sure. A huge compliment.
And if you can have him on arbitration for the rest, like the remainder of the Turner Harper contracts, and then sign him after that, because that's probably like the way the timeline would go. That's a perfect timeline. You're getting rid of money, you're signing new money. Getting shit now and getting a guy like Soto, I think, fucks this team, because it's also taking away the limelight of Harper, who doesn't need it, but at the same time does want to be more of a focus of attention than, a guy like Soto, who's going to make almost double the contract that he's getting.
For sure.
James, you've been kind of quiet, man. You got anything you want to add?
Listen, I was listening to you guys and all. Tell you one thing. How about them Phillies?
Yes, sir.
Lucky Hoodie made it in there. And I'll tell you one thing. Today while I was working, most of the game was very, very boring until the 6th inning.
Most of the game was boring? Really? Really? Did we watch the same game?
No, wait, no. Until the 6th inning, when the Bryce Harper, the jersey that I fell asleep with last night, Bryce Harper hitting a home run, making it a 1-run game, and then Nick Castellanos ties the game up. I went nuts on both of them when I was at the stadium. I went nuts. I was jumping around like crazy. Couple lady Mets fans were looking at me crazy because, listen, we are not going down without a fight. And for real, we tied it up at 3. And then the Mets just fought back. And then the Phillies took the lead in the bottom of the 8th with a couple crazy hits, and I was in the elevator lobby and with a couple other coworkers I know. We were jumping up and down like crazy, and then we top of the 9th, we tied the game up. Then I came back home. I was going a little nuts. Castellanos with the win, and also I had mixed emotions. And like I told Dalton, I've been waiting for Red October moments like this. And Dalton, Holland, I might not have a voice left by the end of the night because I have a whole day to celebrate this win, at least. We don't have to worry about losing tomorrow. And the fact that we came in there, the fact that we tied the series up, and the fact that there is this possible chance that I could be there one more time. And boy, oh boy, would it be sweet if we somehow, with the bats and with the pitching, win the series against the Mets and all this. And I'm not going wood like Shard says. I hope we win this series and go to NLCS. And listen, I must say, this Sunday, they say Sundays are for the birds. Sundays are for the Phils right now. I'm telling you, that was what you call a great Sunday walk-off win by Castellanos at the end. And I told the usher, and I was hating on Castellanos too. I said the possibility about him being traded. As soon as I hated on him, he woke up. He woke up big time as soon as I told the usher. As soon as I was kind of giving up, we fought back, and the Phillies literally brought me back in. I was literally concerned. I was literally concerned there. I was literally concerned. And I'll tell you one thing, Dalton. I'll tell you one thing. I will not be mad. I will not be mad if we somehow split in New York. I won't be mad because we did our job. We needed this one because if we went down 2-0, season's over.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
always Phillies in 5. It was
Yep.
always Phillies in 5. I just want to say this though, because you brought it up. If the Eagles played today, and you know, hypothetically, if both the Phillies and the Eagles lost, I don't think you guys would have heard from me today.
The amount of fans.
You would have
amount of
checked
fans
out
that
when
were gonna jump.
MIA, missing
Yep.
in action. Dude.
Listen,
There's a
listen.
man. There's a man on the Walt Whitman.
Don't mean to get off, guys. Don't mean to get off topic, but I know after the podcast, most of you guys are gonna try to watch the Cowboys lose. So that would cap up.
I'm
Off.
loving it, Brad. You keep getting at him.
But anyway, getting back to the Phillies, I'll tell you one thing. The fact of the matter is this: the fact that we could say we won a playoff game at home. Here's my concern. Here's my one concern, though. Remember last year, the Braves. We lost to the Braves game 2 last year. The Mets lost us game 2. And remember, even though we tied it up this series, remember the home team in NLDS in the National League East series the last 2 seasons, which was the Phillies, won both games. So that's something. That's one little thing that we should be concerned about. And and as excited as I am to win, I'm a hit nervous. But I'm telling you, if there's one trend that has to end with that between NL East teams and the NLDS, it's going to a game 5. And I'm feeling, knock on wood, like you say, knock on wood, Shard. That scenario that I mentioned doesn't happen again, like the past 2 years with the Phillies, in games 3 and 4, winning at home, which was great, good wins against the Braves. Which hopefully we're not the Philadelphia Braves against the Mets in New York. So
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Phillies, I look at it this way, and I said this earlier. You got to take one in New York, whether that's with Nola, and I think Brendan, you said this yesterday. Nola had one of his best outings up there at Citi Field this season.
Complete game shutout.
I mean, they have tomorrow off. We come back on Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be a complete Phillies takeover at Citi Field, but I do think there will be a decent amount of Phillies fans. Kind of like how the Mets fans were at CBP. There was a decent amount of Mets fans here. So I'll give it to you, Mets fans. You guys, you did show up. You did show up. And I think, honestly, the Phillies fans will show up at Citi Field because, I mean, you guys had a lot of tickets at face value still left on your website. So, but with that,
yep.
I think the Mets, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to jinx anything. The Mets have been really all over the place the past 2 weeks. I mean, you went to Milwaukee, to Atlanta, back to Milwaukee. You came to Philly. Like, you've been all over the place. You've been playing, 10, 12 games in 11 days. They're like, I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, I'm reading the comment from Charles, buying the rest of the donating them to everyone I know. You do that, Charles. But I want to say stuff, but then I don't want it to bite me in the ass. But I feel like you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you can sum it up to fuck the Mets.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to jinx anything or say anything else. I think you just say fuck the Mets.
Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets! Fuck.
And there it is. You don't just let the fans speak for themselves. People are going to show up. That place is going to be loud as shit on Tuesday. Noel's going to have a fucking night, dude. Watch this guy. He's going to have a game. Take the over for strikeouts on Tuesday night. Just go there.
He's going to have a game, but the offense needs to also show up.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. But I think that if you can get Nola to go at least 7, get Estevez in there for the 9th, Gumball's choice for the 8th, apparently. But I really think it should be Alvarado. They need to bring Alvarado in because you can't go this entire playoffs or entire series. Don't let him pitch and then think of going into the NLCS and then bringing him in then, and he's been off for almost 2 weeks. He needs to have the repetition, the emotion. He needs to be warmed up, and that's probably the biggest thing that's concerned me as like a lower hanging fruit type of thing is where the fuck is Jose Alvarado? This is your quote unquote hype guy who has nothing but emotions, and you want to get people fired up. That's the guy you should be putting in there.
But yeah, Brandon, I'll tell you one thing. The resilience of both teams today, I'll tell you. The New York Mets, when they tied it up, Mark Vientos tied it up, and I know it was in the car, and I seen the alert pop up. I was like, oh, no, and then it was a little like the Mets, think about it. The Mets, they got a lot of heart on that Mets team, and just like the Phillies did tonight. And to be honest, looking at the next 2 games, I don't see neither team winning 2 in a row. I see split. And like I said to you, I don't see the Mets letting us take 2 in New York, and I don't see the Phillies letting the Mets beat them twice. The Phillies are a way different franchise than the Atlanta Braves. But I'll tell you one thing: I don't think neither team's gonna let each other beat each other. So I just think there's no clear-cut winner in the next 2 games. I think Phillies win 1 and possibly the Mets win 1. But knock on wood, we win both, so I don't have to worry about a game 5. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. If I can escape a game 5 at CBP. But listen, I'll take being 2-2 going back to the bank. But we got an interesting little Dalt, Shard, everybody else. We got an interesting little development going on here.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing too. You know who I think's, and I'm gonna make knock on wood like once again, Char. You know who I think's gonna have a big game next game? Brandon Marsh is gonna have
Really?
No.
Brandon Marsh.
He's
Remember?
only fucking 0 for 8.
Wait, tell us why, Fratty. Everybody's saying no.
Remember back on June 26th when the Detroit Tigers were terrible, I said Brandon Marsh was going to hit a home run, and that's when I woke him up. Brandon Marsh is going to have a big game. You just watch. You just see. He's going to have a big game. He's going to come out like a wild animal. He's going to hit home run in New York, and then the rest is history. You just watch out. This man is going to go off. B Marsh updates is going to go nuts. It's going to happen. And you just wait and see.
I love it. I love it, Fratty.
He might actually.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But we're gonna see what happens. It's going, like I said, it's gonna be interesting, and I'm just lost for words because how we won the game tonight, and then I was just hopping up and down, and it was like everybody was just going. It's like I feel like it was very good for me as a big Phillies fan. Just like, and I'm sorry, Frank the Tank, if you're watching this video, I had a Frank the Tank moment tonight.
What was it?
No, me jumping up and down when Harper and Castellanos hit the home run to tie the game. It's a shame nobody got that on video of me.
We're going to have to get a designated cameraman to come sit in your section all the time and have to just keep the camera on Fratty and whatever he's doing at all times. One day we'll be able to afford that. There you go.
Listen, I haven't even done many Phillies videos on Instagram. It's gonna come sometime tonight. So, I know people are probably waiting. So we'll see. Anyway, game 3. We're gonna all of us on this podcast here. We're all gonna enjoy this win. The next day, victory Monday tomorrow, off day, and then once Tuesday morning hits, once we wake up Tuesday morning, we're gonna be holding our breath then till 5:08 p.m. and then the nerves are really gonna kick into gear for game 3. So
that's when that Rick and Morty meme is really gonna apply, Shard, right?
Dude, I mean, I'm just happy I can go to work tomorrow and not be kind of depressed.
Kind of? I was contemplating going to the bridge. What do you mean, kind of?
I just I don't know. But apparently, so I want to read something real quick just because I'm looking at this Dodgers and Padres game. So I'm sure the replay is on Twitter. Apparently, Profar just robbed Mookie Betts. Didn't let anyone know he caught it. Made everyone think it was a home run. Mookie rounds the bases. Score goes 1-1. Profar taunts the Dodgers fans. Shows he caught it, and then it erased.
What?
Fucking savage, bro.
That's crazy work. That's either gonna go two ways. That's gonna be like awesome for them, or that's gonna be karma.
I'm gonna see if I can find it on Twitter, but
it'll be the brown and yellow song 2.0.
Oh, one thing, guys, I know this is I know we're called Birds Podcast. I just want to let you guys know
It's 302 Phils tonight, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I just want to let you know. Just wanted to while Short's looking it up, just want to let you know that Cowboys and Steelers is in a weather delay. So,
oh my god, this is funny, bro.
so I see the
The
Padres
thing is on Twitter. It's hilarious.
Padres are up right now at the Short. I see 1-0.
Yeah.
I see it is. So
Yeah,
I just turned it on for a minute.
Tatis 1 yard.
Yeah, I kind of hope I kind of hope San Diego wins. Then again, remember I said Dodgers, Phillies, NLCS Dalton. Remember I said this, and then I said the Dodgers were going to beat us.
Don't tell me and KJ are gonna have to go back, right? I do have a clip. I do have a clip saved just in case we have to go back Friday, because I always have a clip in my back pocket. So get ready.
Listen, what if it'd be funny? Save the Phillies. Move. Cardinals beat San. Wow, 49ers lost too. That's Kathleen.
Hey, it's all good. Anytime that the 49ers lose, we're happy about that.
Anyway, remember, speaking of the Padres, and all, it'd be funny. Philly somehow miraculously win the series in 4 or 5 games, and the Padres somehow miraculously win the series, and we have to deal with those corny Padres fans again. You know what? If the Dodgers choke, we somehow make it in. I honestly, my take on us will change since my Dodgers are not in. And I think we beat the Padres in the best of 7 series because we're the Padres' daddies. That's why.
Oh, tell him, Brady. Tell him.
If we play the Dodgers, I think we lose. But I think if we play the Padres, we win.
What is happening?
Yeah, look at Brendan's face.
What are we talking about here? We just had a fucking walk-off on a fucking bye week for the Eagles. You're going to go into a great fucking work week now. What the fuck are we talking about when the Phillies lose to the Dodgers? Dude, you remember the last time the Phillies played the Dodgers in the NLCS? For anybody that forgot, they won the fucking World Series in 2008. And that's where I'm at right now because all of my confidence is back in this fucking team. There's no, they might pull this out. They're going to win this fucking series in 5. They're going to go play the fucking Dodgers or the Padres out in, God knows fucking West Coast, beat the shit out of them, and then we're going to win the World fucking Series.
Yeah,
I have full fucking confidence.
Listen,
nobody's fucking losing, brother. Have the confidence. Be up there with it. Here we are.
I just hope I'm wrong about that because
you are. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I love you to death, man. But you're wrong. You're 1,000% wrong.
If we play San Diego, I think we beat San Diego.
You beat both.
I think we'll beat the Dodgers. I think that the Dodgers are the tougher team, though. I hear what you're saying.
I think the Padres are worse.
But honestly, I honestly think the Mets can't beat the Dodgers. I'm just saying, realistic. I think we have a better chance of beating. You guys think the Phillies have a better chance to beat the Dodgers than the Mets?
I think the Phillies can beat the Mets. I think they can beat the Braves. I think they can beat the Dodgers. I think they can beat the Padres, the Yankees, Royals, Guardians, the Tigers. Anybody else that I'm fucking missing at this point? This is Red October. This is bloody fucking October. We're gonna win the World fucking Series and we're gonna go party down fucking Broad Street. That's where we're at with everything.
Listen, I'm enjoying this win tonight, Brendan.
Nope. Ride it, man.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just holding my breath and knocking on wood like Shard here because we've had so many letdowns, and I'm just hoping miraculously one of these West Coast teams somehow fails again, and Dodgers somehow fail in some way. But one guy I think you have to watch out for is Ohtani. Oh, Padres up 3-0. Okay. One guy you got to watch out for is Ohtani on the Dodgers. And then on the Padres side, you got to watch out for Machado and what's the name in there? They have a good lineup this year. They have other guys that I don't think were on the team 2 years ago, so you got to watch out for them. I think Han Sung Kim is hurt, so there's a lot of variables. The Padres got some good hitters too. We got some good. All these teams that are left, there's a lot of star power on all these 4 of these teams. But honestly, the Phillies are going to. I still believe that the Phillies are going to beat the Mets because the New York Mets.
There it is.
The New York Mets are the Dallas Cowboys of the MLB.
There it is.
Well, we got there. We're good now.
But
We're good now.
anyway, Steady Field tomorrow. I'm not tomorrow, Tuesday. Hopefully a lot of Shea Stadium. That's a shame what they did to Shea though. But anyway, oh man, I think I lost my voice now after all that. I'm gonna have to drink something soon too. Told him so. I think.
Uh-oh.
I got to drink a lot of water soon.
Oh.
Thankfully, I don't have work the next couple days, 2-3 days. I'm out of job. I decided not to go, so be locked in. I'm gonna relax some more and then bowling Monday night. So anyway, let's go. That's all I have to. That's all I have to say, guys. My voice is starting to. I think my voice is. Who knows? My voice is a little. I think I'm starting to lose it a little bit, dulled. I can feel it in here. I think I need to. My mouth is and also. Yeah, dull. Woo.
Well, we'll get you something. Don't worry. We'll get you something. Don't worry. But man, what a feeling. What a win for Philadelphia Phillies fans tonight. I mean, just the vibes at the ballpark, the ups, the downs. I will say, I did see a lot of Phillies fans sitting down in the beginning of the game, and I get it. Baseball is a long game, especially if you have seats in the front row. You're probably not going to stand the whole game. I fucking would because I'm a lunatic. And I think a lot of people on this podcast would. I would leave early, yes, to beat traffic, but I would stand the whole game. I would stand until about the 7th inning and a half, and then you best believe I'm listening to the rest on 90.
They weren't letting people stand up. They were telling people to sit down, apparently.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up because it's Red October. You got to let your fans stand up. It looked like some of the umps were biased. I think that that's a biased thing to say that your fans can't stand up. Like, there were a lot of ups and downs, but I'll give the fans credit. The fans stuck with the team. The fans were there when the team needed them. They got loud. So if you were there tonight, if you were at the game, drop a like on the video, drop a comment, drop a subscription. All those little things matter because you guys are the kind of people that we make the videos for. And if any of you guys have any clips like Shard has wonderfully shown tonight of fucking BPTs like you.
Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets! Fuck the Mets!
Because of wise asses like this.
Yo, what is good, G-Fam? We out here in Philly. Phillies. Mets took the dub. You already know. Got the link in the background. Fuck Philly. Fuck the Eagles.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up! God, that felt good. Man, I've been waiting like 6,000 months to do that. That guy gets on my nerves. That guy really gets on my nerves because that is what Mets fans really annoy me with. So it was nice for that Mets fan and the Mets in general to get a taste of their own medicine tonight. A late game win by the Philadelphia Phillies. Offense came alive at the end there when they needed them to. And now we're going into New York, 116 miles away, 1-1 tied instead of 0-2. Could have went a way other way. They have time to regroup tomorrow. They have time to go into the lineup, figure out what they need to do, and say, okay, what do we got to do to make sure we bring back a win to Philadelphia so that we can close this thing out? And I think that they will. Charles, Kathleen, Murray, and I appreciate all you guys in the comments. We really do. But man, it was such an exhilarating win. You guys should have seen me. I mean, God bless my neighbors because the amount of curse words that they probably had to hear me yell during the 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock hour tonight had to be forsaken.
Oh, man. I guess I'll just, get my last point on it all is this is playoff baseball. If it wasn't stressful, if it didn't make you want to pull your hair out, if it didn't make you just want to sit there and do everything the same when things are going well and change everything when things are going bad, don't watch playoff baseball in October, because this is what we all live for as the most geeky, nerdy lunatics that live, breathe, and die by this team. And we've joked that, we ride and die. We have our mental health compared to this team and the whole nine, right? But when we break it down, this is what it all matters for. The next 3 weeks is why we watch all of the fucking games that you want to pull your hair out since April. Be there, be loud. And if you go to Citi Field, be a real Phillies fan and root for your fucking team, dude. That's all it is. Root for this team and bring this trophy back home.
I'm a fighter, Adrian. On that note, though, just like the Phillies, just like Rocky, Bryce Harper apparently in the locker room tonight said Rocky would be proud. So they're
damn Skippy.
They're on something right now, dude. But on that note, we're gonna end it here. We'll see you guys not tomorrow because they have an off day tomorrow, but I think Tuesday, I believe, is a 5 o'clock start, right?
Yep, 5:08.
So we'll see you guys back here about an hour probably later. I think we started at 7:45 tonight, so we'll probably start at like 8:45 on Tuesday. So appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like Dalt said, Kathleen, Hardcore, Maureen, everybody else, appreciate you guys tuning in. We love you. We love you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Appreciate all our fans. And again, go fighting Phils. Love you guys. Good night.
The Titans. Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone, and it is gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.